Who's here? Who is this?
Daria, from the crime scene. Do you remember? I'm at home. Bought me to cross from yours. Please, hurry. I need you one thing.
Are you still there? Daria!
Any orc makes it here. Hear that? No, shut up.
think this is going to last?
It's just getting started. Things are going to get a lot worse before they get any better.
Hard to believe that all this shit's happening because of one man. You almost have to respect that kind of power or... I don't know. Influence or whatever.
We'll just wait it out in here. Then in the morning we'll go home.
Lost track of time.
My Interpol friend, it's dangerous for you to be out in the street tonight. What are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Oh, the killer is still out there. More victims have turned up. All of them Augs, all harvested. Just like Angela Gunn.
So it's the same person doing all this. We still have no idea who that is.
I'm not sure where all this is going, but I've been looking at old case notes, and it's uncanny. Marek Svobotka, the old harvester, is supposed to be dead, yet this killer seems to... Little habits that were never made public. I even called the cemetery just to make sure Svobodka's still dead.
And?
He's dead.
That doesn't explain what you're doing here.
It's still my case, isn't it? And it's still open. I was hoping that maybe Daria suddenly remembered something. What about you? You know very well that your Interpol ID doesn't mean shit tonight. Hell, I should be arresting you right now.
I don't have time for this. Daria's in trouble and I need to get inside. You do whatever you have to.
All right. I suppose you should check on your friend. I'll take a look around the building. You know, in case. Just try not to get caught.
I won't.
Adam, good. We need to talk, son.
What's going on, Seraph? Why the secure vidcall number?
I looked into Facility 451. It was a processing clinic, one of dozens set up after the incident to help augmented people recover. It was supposed to be places to heal, but they were run more like prison camps.
And?
And I don't think you got your new Augs there. You said rescue teams dumped you in that clinic shortly after Panchaea collapsed, but your name doesn't appear on its entry logs. And it doesn't appear on any survivor recovery lists either.
They said I was a John Doe. Nobody knew who I was.
It wouldn't have been hard to find out. Your augmentations have serial numbers. Or at least the ones I had installed into Adam Jensen did.
Why are you so sure I didn't get these Augs in Alaska? Orloff was there. I spoke with him.
You said he was using an alias, McFadden. I looked into it. Casper McFadden didn't exist until the day you regained consciousness, which was 1 month before you escaped the facility.
Okay, so where was Orloff?
Not in Alaska. He was with Tai Young Medical for a while, and in the spring of 2028, his name pops up once or twice in the Baltic region. Then he dropped off the grid, and McFadden shows up.
So what does that prove? Orloff is McFadden, and McFadden is Orloff. None of it connects him to me.
Except for the AUGs which Orloff designed and nobody else knows how to install, let alone make compatible with a competing system.
Are you suggesting all my AUGs are new? Even the ones you gave me? I know my AUGs, Seraph. It took 2 years for my body to get used to them, to unlock all their potential.
2 years, really, Adam? One of which you don't remember because you were allegedly in a coma in Alaska. Look, son, all I'm saying is it wouldn't have been hard to identify you, but for some reason, that never happened.
What are you trying to tell me, Seraph?
I'm sorry, Adam. There's not much more I can say. There's some conclusions you have to make for yourself. All I know is the deeper I dig, the more questions I have. Orloff might have had answers, but as soon as you found out he was in Prague, that he'd been visiting Prague periodically ever since you started working with TF-29's division there, somebody killed him. You tell me what it all means.
I can't. Not yet.
Well, if you ever do find out, give me a call. Until then, take care of yourself, Adam. Be careful.
Thanks for the help, Seraph.
You should check for yourself. Maybe it's me, Gilles.
Well, welcome to the underground. I owe you an apology for hacking your info link.
Don't sweat it. I'm assuming you had a good reason.
Samizdat's usual channels are all bugged. I couldn't risk an audio communication being traced back here.
You're Little K, right? You don't sound local.
I wrote some things that made me have to delocalize a long time ago. Been living story to story on a Schengen visa and a language implant ever since. Never expect a short story from a long-form journalist. You want to know why I brought you here? The police raided Samizdat last night, cleared us out. We were broadcasting until they pulled the plug. Radios, flyers, mail bursts, the makeshift media van. Getting the message out to our subscribers if they needed a refuge. As you can see, it went a little wider than we anticipated.
What happened to Kay?
Kay is me now, according to the Samizdat Manifesto. It's all very third-wave socialist with a dash of martyr complex.
Good to know. But I mean, what physically happened to him?
Right. His name is Yarek Drobny. He's being held by the police along with Bones. No contact, no bail, no rights, plausible deniability.
He must have known the risks.
Well, he was open to the existence of risks. When you showed up, it should have been a wake-up call, but you were reasonable. The state isn't reasonable.
This isn't what I call laying low. Aren't you afraid the police will find you again, finish what they started?
They already got Kay. Bones, the backup servers, even the shitty coffee machine. Enough for them to call it a win and get back to indiscriminate brutality on the streets.
Where were you when this happened?
Right here. Running our little home away from home. Our sources tipped us off about the martial law. Either we could write about it and throw our hands up. Boy, I sure hope this massive rights violation doesn't end up being too awful this time. Or we could enact a readiness plan and really do something.
So are you running a resistance cell here or a campaign room?
Why not both? Now Samizdat has a captive voter base. We could run for the Senate.
It's organized resistance then.
Peaceful resistance. We're working together to get people under the cordon and out of Prague. It's a happy accident of a police state. Well, I say happy when everyone's repressed, they can see past their prejudices.
Or they shift the blame. It's gonna take a long time for those prejudices to heal.
As long as certain people can profit from keeping the wounds fresh. But you knew that already.
I'm pretty sure you didn't call me to put up posters. What's the deal?
We've made a plan. We're getting people out of the city, starting first thing tomorrow. I want Yarek and Bones to go with them, but first, we need to bust them out of jail. Tonight.
And you think I'm the kind of guy who breaks into police stations?
Are you telling me you're not?
Fine, I'll get them out. They're being held in the temporary police station downtown?
Yes. By the Monument Metro. Once you're clear, takes them across the plaza to the Ineda Cleaners. We've cached everything they need for a long road trip along the old NATO decommissioning zone.
That's your escape route? Puts getting them past the state police into perspective.
It works on paper. And gives them these new identity documents, a lot of new identities. We found a very good forger. We're keeping her from a bright future in a Pika's newsroom.
It is you, again.
Too many people. We'll have to borrow more.
Milena, you didn't take my advice about giving up on forgery.
I know. But trouble is, I've got a talent for it. And it's a real growth market. As soon as you got me out of that thing with Dragomir, I had like 20 emails from Samizdat. Do you have any idea how difficult it is for art school graduates to find a specialist subject these days?
The permits aren't enough for police anymore, forged or real.
In Prague, maybe. But it turns out I'm multilingual when it comes to falsifying border passes. Lucky, right?
Never works, I'd say lucky.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Super Commando Man. Oh, don't mention it, Milena. If there was an easier option, you think we wouldn't take it? I was less stressed out when I was working at gunpoint.
We may not agree on your methods, but I'll let you get back to your work.
Coming from you, that is like the gold star seal of approval.
Have you come to help us?
think that what we're doing here is right. Is that it?
On a personal level, yes, this bothers me very much. Jesus, I'm not even talking about what our social responsibility is here. You are supposed to protect us. You lock them up in cages.
Following orders.
That doesn't mean it's right.
Bad cop, worst cop, huh? What do you think this is, the 1980s? Like those old documentaries?
Our old military
Journalists aren't the revolution, man. We're just
Remus, is that you?
augmenting the message. And the message is still
Yes, or intelligence?
on the streets, through the airwaves. It's spreading online. Even goes into those faceless robots, huh? Maybe you're thinking you're fighting for their own team. Well, that's a good start, man. First, see that your things are being sold like big
Access granted.
Cops! You still up there? Well, that's a good start, man. First, you have to see that your strings are being pulled by crooked politicians and big corporate. Then you can stop dancing for it.
Remus.
And you... I knew it, man. I knew you were one of them all along.
Do I look like I'm one of them?
I can feel my hands right now, but if I could run a search for shadowy extra-government agent on the net, pretty sure it's all you.
Fair point. What happened? You pulled a Freedom of Information speech on the state police?
Ha fucking ha. They didn't wait for a speech, man. Lesson learned. Smash the state before the state smashes your nose.
Little K asked me to get you out.
She's the K now, man. I'm a liability to Samizdat.
She cares about you, Yarrick. She didn't want to leave you or Bones behind.
Always was a cool cat, man. One of the good ones. She wrote The Wheels Come Off 16 years ago, and the conspiracies just keep checking out. Everything except the gray aliens, but who's to say that's not a metaphor?
If she wrote the book,
I don't believe in authorial intent.
you told me you were a liability to Samizdat. How do you figure that?
Because the cops burn me, man. Exposure is death. They didn't have to ask a single question. Just took my DNA off their knuckles. My high school dropout date, my sister's parking tickets, my darknet proxies. Oral cemetery.
Oral cemetery?
They didn't get a lot of mainstream airplay. Anyway, Little K shouldn't have sent you. Samizdat has to be bigger than any man or woman.
Samizdat is bigger than you now, Yarrick. The Resistance reached further than you planned for. You want to fall on your sword, there's a better place to do it than in a holding cell.
Whoa, whoa, you know I use the term liability real broadly.
There's a way out of Prague for you both. The Samizdat Resistance has organized everything. We just need to keep our heads down and get to the cleaners nearby.
The cleaners? Irony. Wait, you mean going through the cops?
There's a police locker in the corner that should be stocked with uniforms. Find something that fits and try to look convincing. We need the cops to think you're one of them. Good. It's time to go.
Helena says it's all gone wrong.
Cut that last part.
We should send out insurance archive again.
It's sad to see the place like this.
Nothing to report. Over.
I can't breathe.
That was exhilarating.
Do you think we are safe here?
We are for now, but you can't risk going back outside. There's a group organizing underground. They're doing everything they can to create a refuge, to help get people out.
These men, they are part of this group? Are they the reason you came?
That's right. You can trust them. Things in this city aren't going to get any better anytime soon. If you wait here, case people will come for you.
Anything is better than being trapped alone with Helena all day. She thinks that we don't need anyone else. That Irenka should never trust anyone but her. But I think she's wrong. I think we need others. You're the one who got us this far. And these friends of yours, they're going to get us even further. Thank you for that.
Good luck, Irenka.
Yes, exit plans, man, exit plans. Always be making them. We worked this contingency plan out when we started Samizdat. Didn't think it would actually come to this, though.
No one thought it would be like this. You're gonna need these documents where you're going, wherever that is.
I hear Paris is the best place to have a revolutionary agenda these days. If you want to come along, you can be the muscle. Well, whatever your arms are made of, the stuff they use on space shuttles.
No can do. I've got a previous engagement I really can't miss.
Right, with the cardboard box company.
Watch yourself out there, Kay.
Kay? Kay is Kazdy, man. Kay is everyone. You're part of it now.
Brad will be getting more parking tickets.
Cops. I hate this weather.
I will try to find you a little something. I promise.
Daz is the man. He'll set you up.
You want Praxis, eh? Buy it.
I might be interested.
They sell these.
Yeah.
But
Что за хуйня? I'm good for now.
Бурятские юбки.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
retribution. Vigilante hackers tied to the Juggernaut Collective have crashed the Shenzhen Stock Exchange. Yes, folks, these are troubled times. This is a lesson to some. Around the clock, around the world.
don't know where she is. All I know is she called... you and...
I knew this Rakar business would cause trouble.
Wait there.
preemptively declared by Czech authorities as an excuse to illegally detain people? No warrants, no trials, no rights, Reg, you can be sure of that. The only thing that shocks old Baz here about it is that it didn't happen 5 years earlier. What took them so long? Prague was a cyborg brothel for years. As soon as the Czech government started offering tax breaks to augmented laborers, the Illuminati drew a giant flaming red target right in the city square. Now you've got everyone
What are you doing here? It's after curfew. It's dangerous.
Serial killers are dangerous. Curfews are just inconvenient.
I beg your pardon?
Daria Mishka. Ring a bell?
I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to divulge anyone's personal information.
I'm asking for your help. Daria's missing. She's gotten herself mixed up in these harvester killings.
I'm sorry to hear that, but I don't see what that has to do with me. Or with you, for that matter.
Before going after her, I want to make sure I have all the information I need. I read the email you sent her. You seemed very concerned. Something about a neural surgery you performed. Why was it so important for her to meet you here?
I used to know Daria. She was a patient of mine.
Your patient? You mean here at the drugstore?
No, of course not. Before that, when I used to work for Taeyong Medical, big tech corporation. You know it?
Enough to know I don't like where this is going.
I headed a project, the cutting edge of neural science and cellular memory replacement. We dealt with people suffering from severe social disorders. We were making people better by making them better people.
Why do I get the feeling you did something unethical?
Unethical? Right and wrong are outdated concepts. Wouldn't waste my time with them if I were you.
Whatever you were involved in has obviously hurt people. Dealing with the effects of that is a waste of time to you?
We were trying to help people. Imagine what it would mean if we succeeded. Anxiety, gone. Apathy, gone. Depression, gone.
Diversity gone, spontaneity gone, individuality gone. But you probably left that part out of your sales pitch.
Daria is responsible for what Daria does. The only reason Taeyong forced me to get involved is because so much is at stake for them. Big brand name to protect. I've met their lawyers, men whose briefcases are filled with broken teeth. You must understand.
I'm trying to save Daria. If any part of you cares about what happens to her, now is the time to tell me. What do I need to know to help her?
Daria is beyond help. You're wasting your time.
That's for me to decide. Now tell me about this procedure. And you can quit stalling, because I'm not going anywhere until I get the answers I need.
My job was to address people's deficiencies by integrating donor personality packages. That meant we needed lots of confident volunteers to donate time to our project. As you can imagine, people weren't exactly lining up to have a scrape inside their heads. So Taeyong had to diversify.
Once again, not sure I like where this is going.
Taeyong Medical cut a deal with various penitentiaries. Prisoners who took part in our programs, they got granted little perks, bigger cells, running water. The prisons, they benefited from facility upgrades. It was a win-win.
You implanted the personality traits of prisoners into the mentally unstable? Smart. Let me take a wild guess. Daria's donor was Marek Svobotka, better known as the Harvester.
Donor number 698843. All I saw, all I was given, was a series of test scores that showed a perfect match. Everything she was missing, he had. Nothing else mattered at the time.
An innocent woman's been turned into a vicious killer, in large part because of a procedure you carried out. I'd say that matters.
Daria wasn't turned into anything. She willingly participated in a procedure. Now she is willingly killing people. You may choose to see a causal relationship between those two things, but let me assure you, it's more complicated.
Save it for the lawyers. What I need to know is how to stop her.
All right. Look. We obviously want the same thing here. Daria has a neural chip installed just above the hairline. She won't let you get anywhere near it. So if you're serious about putting an end to this, you'll have to, you know.
What, kill her?
That would be my preference, yes. Or I suppose you could just incapacitate her, but then you run the risk of having her wake up. Not a risk I would take personally.
I know there's a keyword that can shut down the chip. I read about it in your notes. Why would you try to keep that from me?
Because I knew you would overestimate what it could do. You're a fool if you think you can just walk up to a killer and say a magic word. It won't undo what she's become. The decision to act on Svobodka's memories, to repeat them, that was all Daria. Simply shutting down the chip at this point will not be sufficient.
That's for me to decide. What's the override phrase?
Ad hominem 2026. But I warn you, do not turn your back on her. And do not underestimate her responsibility in all of this. We all have terrible nightmares. We all have visions of sick and terrible things we could do. But we don't all act on them. You must be careful around her. Dangerous to be out in the street tonight.
This curfew is...
The whole place was a powder keg waiting to blow. Now look.
Nothing is going to push them into attacking us. No infractions to report.
Pomůžete mě držet na pořádku. Nothing. You sure we need to be out here? Chci mluvit se svým právníkem. You know, it's just better shit like this wouldn't happen.
Oh, thank God. I knew you'd find me. We must hurry, before he comes back.
Before who comes back? The man who killed Angela Gunn?
Yes. He knows you're after him. He wanted you to come.
So where is he?
He's everywhere. Can you not feel his presence? Are you not scared?
Why did he bring you here? What does he want?
He's using me to get to you. He thinks that by removing your augmentations, he can make you whole again. Quickly, come closer. Help me to get out, and then deal with him. Please, I beg you.
I need to know where he is first. How long ago did he leave here? Which way did he go?
You've got to be joking. We don't have time for all these questions. If he knows I spoke to you, he will kill me. Please, my ankle. Come closer. You must help me escape.
You can drop the act, Daria. I know what's going on here. I know there's no one else out there. I ran into an old friend of yours. The name Cipra mean anything to you?
You mean Dr. Cipra? Ugh. Where did you dig him up?
He's worried about you.
He's worried about himself. He's worried about Tai Yong Medical. They're willing to kill to cover things up, to preserve their precious image. Their reasons are savage compared to mine.
I don't believe this is who you are. Something changed in you after Cipra's surgery. Made you do things you would never have done otherwise, for reasons that aren't your own. But it's not too late.
Don't be so naive. I am who I've always been. Cipra's surgery, all it did was give me access to another man's technique, his courage to follow through.
I can still help you. Ab Origin 2426.
Is that how machines pray? No divinity can answer you. You are no longer human. That is why you need me. Admit it. Deep down, you knew what I was, what I offered. You sought me out because you wanted to be saved.
You think you're saving people by killing them?
Can you not feel it? The weight of your transgressions pressing down on your soul. I know what it's like.
You need help, Daria.
You're the one who needs help. Don't you understand that? I can make you human again. I have to make you human again. It's not too late. You need not die, machine.
Before who comes back?
Yes.
You can drop the act.
You mean
He's
worried about himself?
I don't believe that
Don't be so naive.
I can still help. Ad hominem 2026.
What did you do? Is that how machines pray?
Listen to me. The neural chip that Dr. Sipper installed in you is in the process of shutting down. Try to focus. This version of you that's been hurting people, I don't believe that was really you.
Then you don't know me very well. Why? Why should this change anything? The procedure gave me access to memory banks that weren't my own. The choice to draw on those memories was mine alone. You can't take them from me.
The shutdown process may take some time. There may be lingering effects, but that doesn't mean it's too late to help you.
You really believe that, don't you? All right. Prove it. Approach me. Come. Closer. Save me from all those horrible things Dr. Sipra did. There's nothing to be scared of, right? Surely whatever trace of the harvester was inside me is gone now that you've said the magic words.
You obviously need more help than I can offer, but that doesn't mean it's not out there. Whatever power the neural chip had over you should be diminishing now. You should be able to fight whatever urges Svobodka's memories inspired in you.
I don't need help. You do. You need to be saved. All Ogs need to be saved. Svobodka inspired me to... I can make you human again. I have to make you human again to atone for what I am.
This notion you got that augmented people need saving, that there's something less than human. Look, I didn't know her, but I guarantee you Angela Gunn was a human being. Her humanity was defined by her ideas, her passions, the causes she believed in. It had nothing to do with whether or not she was augmented.
Svobodka never saw them as individuals. To him, they were victims of an age that terrified him. Mirror images of the monster he had become. He believed the entire race was under attack, that mechanization would keep our souls from migrating.
How does that sound like to you when you say it? Migration of the soul? Victims of an age? I'm not talking abstract concepts here. I'm talking about people. Svobodka never saw his victims as human beings because it would have made it impossible to do what he did. He was sick, he was scared. Whatever he was no savior.
You're right. The more he killed, the easier it became. That is why he had to repeat the actions, ritualize them. It was a way of justifying his beliefs. If you kill one man, the memory is like an anvil. If you kill 7, you quickly forget the first. It all starts to seem inevitable. Surely it must be obvious to you by now. The Daria you came here to save no longer exists. She hasn't for a long time. All that remains now is his drive, his legacy, his cause.
His cause, not yours. I don't know the extent to which you're responsible for your actions, whether you chose to be like him or whether it was completely out of your control. But you are different. If you can recognize that, then maybe you can start distinguishing his motives from your own.
Let's say that I can feel his presence receding. After all this time, maybe I can finally recover the person I was before she pressed procedure. That doesn't undo what I've done. How can I possibly be allowed to walk out of here?
It's not for me to judge you. I want smarter people than me to look into this neural procedure you underwent. Dig into Cipra and Tai Young.
So you're offering me a fair trial?
I'm not offering anything. But if there's any hope of moving on here, not killing anyone else is a good start. Society has every right to judge you, and it also has a right to hear all about Cipra and Tai Young Medical. I'm not an expert on extenuating circumstances, but I'd say you have an interesting case.
You were right before, about the override process taking time. I can feel him receding. Memories of memories no longer crashing against me like they did. Let me prove it to you. Come closer. I want at least one person to know that I'm no longer what I was.
All right, Daria, we need to get you out of here for real now. This needs to end.
The version of me who did those things to Angela, I cannot even imagine it being me, even though I know it was. Whatever happens now, whatever the authorities decide, I hope you believe me.
What's going on here? What the hell am I interrupting?
Detective Montag.
Daria's got a story to tell you. How you react may have something to do with your thoughts on experimental neural therapies and big medical conglomerates.
I don't understand. Where is the harvester?
I want to turn myself in.
One of you really needs to start explaining.
I want to confess to the killings of Angela Gunn, Misha Voracek, Pavel Klima, and Leonie Wolf. I also need to tell you about a neural procedure I underwent. It involves Tai Young Medical and a man named Dr. Nicholas Cipra. I hope you'll listen.
You can handle this from here. Just listen carefully to what she has to say.
All right, Daria. I think you should start at the beginning.
2 years ago, I signed up for a program sponsored by Tai Young Medical. They said they could help people to become better versions of themselves. It all feels so long ago now. Another lifetime.
I suggest you remember everything you possibly can about this procedure you underwent. Who was involved, when it happened.
I'm not that person anymore. I swear to you.
Take your time. For now, nothing's going to happen until I get the full story.
Turning myself in is for the best. I know that now.